Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Advanced Wars Daisy Ruin Tiny Wars replay. Spawn on the right side as the blue Snowind, we got Benchwarmer2. Spawn on the left side as the red Waylon, we got Caparo. Waylon, of course, is buff from the cartridge counterparts. He does follow the new Rebellion Army's minus 30% or 30% boarding cost to radius 30-60-60. He is the Defense Air CEO. As a stated, plus 10 for all units, plus offensive defense, and all areas get additional plus 20% offense and plus 40% defense. So any area unit within CO zone gets additional plus 50% defense. And of course, his CO power provides a plus 10 global, plus 20% offense global, and a staggering plus 300% defense, resulting in at least what? Minus, I think somebody said to me, is like minus 75% damage received. So it does not make them bulletproof, just very bullet resistant. And we got, of course, the custom CO, Snowind. Snowind is what I like to call as the paratrooper CO. She has 40%, 50% boarding cost. Blah, I'm just butchering all my words today. A very small radius of 30-60-60. And this is quite a bit here. I shall go a little bit slow and start explaining it. I think she also got a bit of a balance work, because now it says air units. Before, I think it said all units. That could have been just a error in translation. Either way, unloading units in the CO zone get 1 health recovery. And that says all units, and not to mention all units will also get 1 fuel, 1 ammo. So effectively, it's an APC. She herself is an APC with a bit of health regen. And I'm pretty sure it does consume resources. Doesn't specifically say, I'm pretty sure it does. Air units get 30% offense and 30% defense. Probably a good idea to load herself in the air unit. When an infantry/mech unit is produced from your property, the property gains no production status for 1 turn. In addition, the number of properties within the no production status is not greater than 1. Don't worry about that. Suitable locations need to meet all your following conditions. It allows her... Okay, I think she had a bit of a balance change, but I am pretty sure some of this wording got changed. Effectively put, every time she's able to forward deploy infantry and mech units around her CO zone, or into her CO zone, effectively around her, it allows her to forward deploy infantry and mech units. That's why I call her the paratrooper CO, and now she has additional air benefits rather than all units, meaning it's more like an aircraft paradrops in an infantry unit and or mech unit. Her CO power is, of course, all unloading units get plus 1 health recovery and ammo and fuel. I'm pretty sure that is free. All air units get plus 30, and you get a missile silo that does 5 damage to units, and the greatest accumulation of value. So you get a pretty strong, not necessarily Sturm Meteor, but very good missile strike there. And let's see here. Or you can go for, do note this is the same cost here. You can either choose a CO power or a zoo power. An any air or ground unit can get the forward deployment there. So forward deploy out any air unit or any or a base factory unit. And suitable positions adjacent to your CO unit, even though there's no CO zone, as I mentioned beforehand, it still has to be required to be adjacent to the CO unit. So allows her to, this superpower allows her to forward deploy everything. Either way, let's go ahead and get started. So you got the air defense CO versus the paratrooper CO. This map is also a custom map, like probably most maps in the game. You're going to see the no production status, even if there's not any CO zone, it still applies no production status. The no production status means the base is the factory is consumed, and so you just can't spam a whole bunch of units around her. You still have to consume a factory in order to forward deploy a unit. You have infantry push up north and down south for the properties. Both players do have a property and opponents on the map. This is a 3-base map. 2 airport map and technically 2 seaport map. Though the amount of shores here, it is only meant for landers and gunboats, and basically mobility, not any sort of naval play. Though a battleship here wouldn't be half bad, and could escape on out by deploying out a temporary seaport there, but there's double shore here, so it's still hard, can't enter. In addition, there's shores all across here, except for here, so there's a lot of traversable land there. You see here, Snowind has now loaded herself up into a bike. Now she's able to forward deploy infantry units. Let's keep an eye around the bike here. You see here, an infantry unit did get forward deployed from this base here. And it seems like it can only be done once, but I'm not so sure. Oh yeah, if I probably slow down and read it, it requires you to forward deploy something when you have no production, no production status on the field. So in theory, if you pull out anything, it will put no production status, denying the usage of forward deploy. So you probably have to first forward deploy the infantry unit there. She's being quite aggressive there. She can either interrupt her own capture, or deploys a mech there. Ooh, this is the paratrooper style I've been mentioning. Now there's a mech there, so could interrupt her own capture to get a shot there. Onto the mountaintop there. Give her 4 defense stars, and the radar station does provide 3 defense stars, so it won't be too particularly great. And the thing is, well, if Waylon charges for the mech or the tank, which will be out of range, still have to be careful about now the forward deployed mech. So yep, I hope my explanation is easy enough to understand. Just think paratrooper and able to forward deploy 1 infantry unit or mech unit per turn. So she's probably honestly the best mech commander in the game. Tank, recon, and another mech there. And do have a Waylon tank on the field. His tanks are nothing too particularly fantastic. And the amount of infantry on the field, battlecopters would be quite nice, though dusters wouldn't be half bad against infantry as well for Waylon, if you just wants to fly around and just start picking off infantry units. But dusters are relatively expensive. I think dusters are too expensive. Not saying I should say they should be cheaper, like the Tiny Wars should make them cheaper, but it's more of a, if there's ever a Advanced Wars Days of Ruin 2, probably could get cost reduction. And looks like the veteran tank, and not to mention +10/+10 status, did manage to get a good... That was just not a good engagement there before I still win. She took more damage still, because after all, Boris, remember in Days of Ruin, provides 3 defense stars rather than 2, and Cities in Days of Ruin provides 2 defense stars rather than 3. So not too particularly great engagement there, but she can always try forward getting some more healing there with her CO zone. Not to mention Max. Waylon style pushing up north, some infantry units there. Recon here. There's now a battlecopter on the field. And now Waylon has a battlecopter. He does pull back the tank there. Multiple battlecopters in the field, which would give credence for Waylon to go for CO himself into a duster. This temporary airport could be quite nice for either political capture. After all, forward healing for aircraft would be very nice. Provides no income, of course, nor production capabilities, but forward healing is quite nice, and of course forward resupplying. Of course, Snowind has her resupply aura and healing aura. This tank, I'm not sure if we go up to 8 or 9 next turn. It's on top of the city. Right now, Waylon does 23,000, Snowind's at 22, detonates his own gunboat there, and the battlecopter could be CO'd there if he already had a CO already on the field. Another battlecopter, and looks like Waylon's just bringing the wave of battlecopters. Anti-air infantry. And now we've got a T-copter there by Snowind. Maybe she's trying to seize the cities down south. Would pay dividends. Or deploy a mech there. And the tank was healed up 9, so it did actually stack. I know Calder's healing aura doesn't stack. I wonder if it does charge. I think it should, as a balance reason. Anti-air battlecopter, and detonates home battlecopter or gunboat there as well. And looks like he does put the lander on top of the shore there just to make it issues where the T-copter can't land right there, which will also force the T-copter more north. Maybe in range of battlecopter, doesn't look like it though. This point being to try and be a little bit annoying. I fully support. Waylon's engaged in the mountainside there, interrupts the capture of the radar station. Radar stations, as I think I may have not mentioned, or does provide income. A lot of special properties in Advanced Force Wide Web doesn't necessarily give income. In D's Room, you have a pretty good safe assumption will provide income, unless it's a temporary port or seaport. This battlecopter course we have +30 here. So Waylon's battlecopter may have a bit of trouble, though he could try charging forward his command tank there to get a booster strike onto it. Yep, you can see the T-copter move on top of the reef. Anti-air battlecopter tank. Lander does move down south. I think as well, the T-copter could just stay on top of the shore, denying the lander capability from dropping something right there as well. It looks like Waylon just pulling back a little bit there. T-copter mech infantry, battlecopter infantry. Like I said, I disagree with that placement of that T-copter. I really do think it should have been on top of the shore there. Though I suppose the infantry unit would get strafe if it was on top of anything else. So now the infantry is out of range of the battlecopter. Snowind's heading down south. We've got a bit of a stalemate going on. We got 8 energy versus 22 energy, so Waylon does have a good amount of energy stored on up so far. I think as well, if Waylon decides to take out Snowind's command bike, she will immediately be resealed into the battlecopter. Waylon, of course, is now in the same position as well. Battlecopter tries to strike the T-copter rather than... Well, of course, it was out of, like I said, it was out of range of infantry units, so might as well. And T-copter is somewhat trapped there. Battlecopter does strike the lander there, and infantry unit gets on top of the shore to 9 mobility to the lander. Battlecopter anti-air, infantry, and artillery. And looks like this Snowind decides to go for first strike on the infantry unit there. Battlecopter should just probably take a shot there, and the infantry should be able to finish it off. Artillery and the auxiliary. Nice line of mechs there. Artillery, and battlecopter, and 4 deploying, I think, a mech. And decides to take out there, giving the veterancy to the battlecopter there. Space and sacking the infantry unit there. The infantry unit could just stay on top of the city, get slow repaired on up, and just protect those properties. Both sides are creeping the way forward. Waylon right now has 25,000, so does Snowind. Yeah, both sides just posturing up. I have no idea how this game will go. Right now, Snowind has 176,000 field. Waylon has 100 and ends the turn with 192. Gone for Battlecopter Mech, Infantry, Battlecopter, Artillery. If Waylon's able to get his seal power, his Battlecopters would be very bullet resistant. Anti-tank. Looks like Snowwind's going to try to be a bit defensive. May park on top of the city there. There's a lot of infantry there. Don't think the anti-tank is actually a great option. Of course, it will take a bit of time there as well. It's a wheeled unit, and the 1-2, its movement speed's not great. Battlecopter takes up the T-copter there, giving it efficiency 2. Infantry unit decides to load up and set the lander. It looks like Waylon's going to put a bit of pressure there, which may force Blue to rack. If she overacts too much, she could already lose the game because it's a big setup there. It's a possibility any one of these gauges, either of these seals could get their superpower, though Snowwind's aura is pretty small, and she only has 8 energy right now, while Waylon does a 22 energy and has his 2 aura radiance. So it is possible that Waylon could get seal power if the fight starts getting quite hot. It looks like the infantry unit there will get the capture, will get the flip. Anti-air battlecopter and forward deployment of a mech. A lot of mechs in the field. Mechs counter everything, but they get countered by everything. So a chain of mechs like that is going to be quite of an issue. Waylon could start pushing some battlecopters there to try to gauge his infantry there and try to seize these properties. He has now a slight income lead. This temporary airport is neutral for both sides, which could make a difference. Looks like got the infantry unit attack does get interrupted. Artillery in range to protect the radar station. And we do have Duster deployed by Waylon. With the amount of battlecopters in the field, it does make some good sense. As I mentioned, it's still perfectly fine versus infantry and versus mechs. Takes out that infantry unit there. Mech can't seize the radar station. Of course, it means the mech will be in range of the artillery piece, and vice versa. Or deploys an infantry unit. It looks like Waylon's also was at 51 units, now 50, so I'm not sure what the unit cap is in Days of Ruin. Most time, unit cap's usually 50 in most Advanced Wars games. That's simply not the case here. Battlecopter, T-copter, infantry, and anti-air. We're then starting to put some pressure over here. Looks like Waylon's overall just backing off this region. Does have some anti-airs to work with. T-copter, not T-copter, Duster advancing. But Snowind has a good amount of anti-air in this region. See 5 anti-airs. Not to mention a good number of battle copters. Missile there. Honestly, a missile's not too half bad in this situation. It's a standstill, and it is fighting against Waylon. Just make sure the missile stays away from around any sort of civilian airliner. And oh, I didn't realize that Waylon's gone for a rocket. In this standstill, rockets wouldn't be half bad to help push these units away. Okay, I'll see how much damage would it does do to a infantry unit there. 50%. Another rocket by Waylon, anti-air infantry. I actually somewhat agree with the rockets. It allows just start putting pressure on your opponent with a less risk. It'll just take a bit of time to get a front line. Notice that the front lines may collide over here until you're still in range. My apologies, my commentary is not too much. It's like, I have no idea what to say. It's just it's a bit of a stalemate at the moment. We may see some conflict down here. Red will get the first strike. Rockets out of range. Looks like Snowind does go for a rocket of her own, and now it's Waylon's turn. Strike the infantry unit there. It looks like Waylon's actually being defensive. He's actually withdrawing, not attacking. Both sides does not really want to commit. They are not confident to push forward. Waylon probably should start trying to have a CO unit next to some rockets and try to get some CO charge like that. Because if he gets a CO power, his air units will be able to withstand a counterattack quite severely. Waylon has now put out a bomber. Waylon's right now income's 316 on the field versus Snowind's 195 of day-to-day income. So it looks like Waylon is that's still pretty even. The differences are quite negligible at this point in time. So she has now gotten the 15 energy from 8, and she goes for her own for a regular fighter, which is probably not a bad idea. There's a lot of air units for it to shoot down. It'll also be useful engaging the bomber. So yeah, what is the unit build limit? 60 versus 61, now 60 versus 60. Waylon does get some small strikes here, just trying to prevent the captures. Maybe Waylon could try pursuing this radar station, but it'll be in the range of an anti-tank and a rocket, so probably not a good idea. And goes to his own fighter. I understand it's for engaging the fighter. They also provided some fire support. Mech infantry. Snowind's advancing with some infantry units. Does get some energy charge there, very good. And looks like Snowind is just advancing, takes out multiple units, strikes the rocket as well. She finds an opening, but will it be enough? It's going to be a big slog. Waylon may be able to get his superpower charged for the next turn. Won't be able to. We'll have to acquire him moving his CO tank, but getting that charged up would allow him to effectively get a double turn, at least for his air units. Can't let Snowind get her superpower or power charged up to get that missile, because that would just cleat through a formation of his. And she's just front shifting everything down south. Rocket and missile may just want to stay up here to provide some covering fire in this region. Tank there. Battlecopter anti-air. Waylon's turn. So this is going to be the big turn. Should definitely eye to get that CO unit in range to start getting some power charge. Max Battlecopter takes out the infantry unit there. Takes out the infantry unit there. There's a Battlecopter on top of the HQ, so she can get a forward CO unit. So maybe good idea not to kill off the CO unit. Good strike there at 32 energy. He will get his superpower charged up this turn. Battlecopter's low in fuel and does get supercharged, so now he has a max set aura there, giving a lot of extra defense and offense to everything. +10/+10 for all units minimum. Duster right now is at +35%, +50%. Bomber nukes the unit there. I have a feeling. Yeah, I have no idea how that's going to go. Snowind has a lot of mechs, has a large line of battlecopters behind here. I don't think she can get a superpower this turn. She has a very small aura. I'm not sure CO's unit's not necessarily combatant. She may at most get a charge turn, but I don't think she's going to be able to pop her CO power this turn. Because effectively she can attack here and here. Not really even there. Yeah, I don't see her getting 39 energy this turn, even with moving CO unit. Waylon made its move. Did she just delete a unit there? Something exploded. She does move her CO unit. Multiple units are going down, take some damage. Rocket fires. Infantry finishes off the infantry. Anti-air finishes off the infantry. Mech takes out the tank. What's left of it? Fighter nukes the unit there. Duster does take a beating. Does hit the Duster there. Does not manage the bomber. And looks like Waylon's CO unit does manage to go down and puts a round in the fighter. So both the Duster and the fighter are knocked out, leaving Snowind's fighter of complete air supremacy. Though we do have potentially 5 health anti-air to strike it, and the 3 health fighter to follow up with it. And Waylon has a T-copter on his HQ, which maybe he has to CO the T-copter. Definitely a strike. I bet that's half joke, half seriously, and it is serious. He has to get the CO unit pushed forward. He also has to take out this CO unit there. He cannot eat a 5 damage missile. T-Copter creeps its way forward to provide some aura benefit to hit that fighter. Rocket is in range of some stuff. Does sack the fighter there. Anti-air. Couldn't that anti-air hit that fighter? Must have been just out of movement range, because it should have. Rocket strikes the anti-air. So that unit there, push it forward, trying to pick off some of these outlying units there. Missile will get a shot. Fighter does go down, allowing the bomber free reign. Takes the battlecraft there, strikes the unit there. Managed to get a full CO power charge. So the T-Copter will fall back next turn and get the charge going. Takes out the command bike, that's critical. Even throwing some tank and machine gun rounds to the battlecopters. There's a good chance the T-Copter may go down. It's not very well protected, but he mainly did it for his aura benefits, which it was very successful. Okay, let's see. Waylon ends the turn of 276. Snowind starts the turn of 174. She took a beating, but she's not out of the game just yet. She can see over her battlecopter and will be effectively in total plus 50, 50, plus 50. Strikes the bomber, merges the anti-air. Merges there, takes up the duster, or anti-air. Merge there. A lot of merge in there. Aircraft carrier? Is this a sort of resigned play? Yes. I paused right before the resign. This is Grade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.